If you're like me and you've been through a lot of trauma throughout my life during certain challenges, I have found myself repeatedly asking myself, what is the point in all of this? So I found myself recently in a really dark spot in therapy, and I kept asking myself and eventually my therapist, what is the point? What is the point in it all? And why am I trying so hard and feeling like life in and of itself just existing is an uphill battle? And something that truly helped me, that sounded to me a bit silly at first, was reminding myself of my core values. What is the point? It's different and unique to everyone. You have to ask yourself, what is your why? Why are you living? Why are you doing what you do every day? And when you feel lost, use it as a roadmap for your decisions. When you're asking yourself, what do I even do in this situation? Refer to your core values. What is the point? To have fun, to love, to be kind, to grow, to learn, all of the above? Honestly, what is the point? For me personally, after I pondered this and pondered this and pondered this and meditated on it, I really came to the conclusion that the point in life is to have fun. And my intent for my life is to have fun. I want to be present and enjoy every moment and love as much as I can and connect with others. And you can't do those things if you're building walls and blocking yourself off. And trauma has a way of doing that, of us building these walls, feeling like it's protecting us, when in reality it's keeping us from healing. One of the main things is finding comfort within this discomfort. So how do you even do that? Well, one is remind yourself repeatedly that it's normal to be feeling what you're feeling. It's normal for anyone to be feeling what they're feeling. And it shouldn't be shamed or guilted or suppressed or not talked about. You can talk about these things even if it's just between you and a therapist, or you and your journal, or you and your best friend. Understanding that the pain and grief you feel is a testimony to how much love and gratitude and wonderful things you feel for this thing or this person that you are worried about. And that's beautiful, to show gratitude to how deep you can love. And the thought of losing things and the fact that we can is one of the reasons we love so deeply. And it's a balance. It's something to be honored and embraced, not something to resist and hate. And it's so easy to hate your circumstances, but everything is about your perspective. You can have the perspective that you're a victim and that life is cruel and life is unfair, and you're totally entitled to feel that way. I've been there. And the thing is you gotta ask yourself, do you want to feel that way? Because it's not a good way to feel. Do you really want to feel that way, or do you want to feel good? And you know, I feel like as humans are prone to making ourselves suffer and making ourselves miserable by self-sabotaging and doing things we don't truly want to do. Do you truly want to be miserable and live in a perspective that the world is unfair, that there's no opportunities, that life is cruel? And it's just a lonely, sad perspective. And the way out is to realize you have power and control over your thoughts and your mind, and you can take control of the situation and actively make the choice to change your perspective, to prepare for the worst, but to believe, to really believe in your mind and your body and your soul and your spirit in the best. Believe in the best possible outcome and perspective. Do we want to choose to feel powerless and like victims, or do we want to choose to see the world as new beginnings and realize that we have the power to push away negativity. We have the power to liberate ourselves and to push away negative thoughts, to say, no, I'm not going to accept those thoughts. I only accept thoughts that empower me. That is how powerful we are as human beings. And we all know this innately, but sometimes you just have to remind yourself. And these are ways that I remind myself. This is how I remind myself. This is how you can remind others when they're feeling that pit of despair, when they're looking at life from that perspective. Because things can happen that put you in that perspective, but you have the power to change it. And sometimes people don't want to. Sometimes I didn't want to. Sometimes you just have to sit with what you feel. And that's okay. That's how it is. There's nothing wrong with it. Embrace it. Because all feelings are valid and important and should be honored. One of the blessings of going through trauma and growing and learning is that you are able to love deeper and deeper through each thing. And the more you can focus on that and base your perspective in a base of love and gratitude for everything you have around you to be grateful for, or at least one thing, even if it's just your dog or your body, the fact that you can breathe, the privilege it is to move our bodies and to breathe, the privilege it is to live, to experience, to grow. And even though things feel horrible, try to zoom out of the perspective and look at it as if you're watching yourself as you were when you were a little kid and you were learning to walk, and maybe you fell and hit yourself and it hurt and you started crying and screaming. You know how kids cry and scream? And it sounds like they feel like the world is ending, like they're in so much pain. But us as adults, we look at it from a zoomed out perspective and we know that they're okay. They just bumped their little noggin or their knee and, you know, they're just learning to walk. That's just how it is when you learn to walk. That's how it is in life. And it's about coming to that state of acceptance and deciding that you choose to be happy regardless of how things are, because we have the power to choose that, to be happy. I mean, honestly. And we have the power to choose not to be. And it's an active choice you make every day in the things that you do. It's not always based on your outside circumstances or even your inside circumstances. You have the power to change that. And something I always tell myself is there's no truth to your emotions and feelings. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but hear me out. When you are in this pit of despair and sadness and you are like, I feel this way and I feel worthless and I feel like the world is cool and I feel like everything sucks and I feel like blah blah blah, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. Just because you feel that way doesn't mean that you're invalid. You're valid to feel how you feel, but you can remind yourself when you're feeling it, that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. And that makes me feel better. Just because I feel a certain way doesn't mean that I need to feel that way. I can choose to feel differently. Or if I can't, I can embrace how I feel and focus on the good parts and the good things in life as much as I can. And we all have the ability to do that. We all have the ability to put our focus into the good parts of our life and to put all of our energy into that instead of wasting our energy on focusing on what's not working and what we hate. See the beauty in the world. See the beauty in your emotions and focus on it. Appreciate it. Love it as much as you can in every chance that you get. Add beauty to this world. Help others see the beauty in this world. Help others create beauty in their lives. Trust in the process and trust in the unfolding of life.